Okay.
Are you using this?
You're not using this, right? Huh?
You're not using
No.
Hold on one second.
Oh.
Oh, gotta take a shot. Take a shot. Do it again. Oh, come on, strike a pose.
Strike a pose. Please,
Come on, that was good, Shiv. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you need some shades. The pointer really
Hand.
Yeah, the pointer speaks volumes.
A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it! If you haven't already guessed, today I will be talking about rock music. Rock music is a very intense form of popular music. Its history goes back to during and after the 1960s. It has its roots in rock and roll, blues, and country music. It also draws on many other influences, including folk music, jazz, and classical. The base of rock music revolves around the electric guitar. It uses a very strong backbeat laid down by a rhythm section of electric bass guitar, drums, and keyboard instruments such as organ and piano, or, since the 1970s, digital synthesizers. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, rock developed different subgenres. When it was blended with folk, it created folk rock, with the blues to create blues rock, and with jazz to create jazz rock fusion. In the 1970s, rock incorporated influences from soul, funk, and Latin music. Also in the 1970s, rock developed a number of subgenres such as soft rock, glam rock, heavy metal, hard rock, progressive rock, and punk rock. Rock subgenres that emerged in the 1980s included new wave, hardcore punk, and alternative rock. In the 1990s, rock subgenres included grunge, Britpop, indie rock, and nu metal. What do you call a group of musicians specializing in rock music? A rock band, or rock group. Many rock bands consist of an electric guitarist, lead singer, bass guitarist, and a drummer, forming a quartet. Some groups omit one or more of these roles and/or utilize a lead singer who plays an instrument while singing, sometimes forming a trio or duo. Rock music has had a great impact in the whole world on fashion and film. Its impact has been positive with the trend of many rock stars holding charity events such as Live Aid. Saving the world is becoming a more and more common phrase associated with rock music today. There are also spiritual aspects tied to rock music. The common usage of the term rock god refers to the religious quality of the adoration some rock stars receive. During much of the 2000s, rock is not featured as prominently in album sales in the US as in other countries such as the UK and Australia. By contrast to those countries, hip-hop music has dominated the US singles charts, with a recent study stating hip-hop is the most popular format of music among adults from ages 18 to 34 in the United States. You've all probably heard of rock music greats like Elvis Presley, Ray Charles, Mick Jagger, and the list goes on and on. Four of my favorite rock bands are Green Day, the Beatles, 3 Days Grace, and the Jonas Brothers. Green Day is an American rock trio formed in 1987, and they have won 3 Grammy Awards among many others. I love this band because of their personality and the way they play. The Beatles were a pop and rock band from England formed in 1960. Their clothes, styles, and statements made them trendsetters, while their growing social awareness saw their influence extend into the social and cultural revolutions of the 1960s. Beatles are one of the most commercially successful and critically acclaimed bands in the history of popular music, selling over 1 billion records internationally. This is a great band because even though they played in the 60s, people today still love them. I especially like John Lennon and Paul McCartney because I can play many of their songs on the guitar. 3 Days Grace is an alternative rock band based in Canada since 1992. They are my favorite band because I simply love their style of music and the way they play is stunning. The Jonas Brothers are on the top of my list because they are so fun and love all of their fans. Nick Jonas is my favorite band member because he has 5 instruments and has an outstanding voice. In fact, the Jonas Brothers came to this school 4 years ago and performed in our auditorium and handed out free CDs to all the students. Rock is one of my favorite genres of music to listen to and play on the guitar, which is why I chose to research it further. When I'm feeling down, I listen to rock music, and it always gets me fired up and makes me feel more positive and optimistic. Thank you. I'm now ready for questions and answers.
Comments for Shiv, please.
Andrew?
I love how you picked some bands that you liked and told everybody about them, especially for youth grades, because that's definitely.
Thank you. Sam?
I like how you included your 4 favorite bands, and my sister was actually one of the people who got one to see the CDs.
Yeah, so was my brother. That's how I actually learned about it. And Jimmy?
I like how you wrote nice and vague and clear on your board. You can really see it from 6 feet away.
Thank you. And I actually convinced my mom to use this weird kind of font because she wasn't agreeing with me, but I had to convince her.
Shiv, you are an amazing presenter. You are polished, poised, entertaining. I always tell the kids, just because you're doing a research project doesn't mean you don't have to be entertaining. You're both informative and entertaining. Now, I'm going to really date myself. I saw the Beatles in 1964 in Las Vegas. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but I did see them. But I loved your poster. Excellent, excellent focus, great management of a huge, broad umbrella topic. You could have talked for days on rock music. But I love you gave us a great timeline, the graphics are perfect, and focus on your own personal connection to 3 very, very different bands, very different, or 4 very different bands. You looked the part, very, very, very convincing. I was expecting Aerosmith to break out at any moment. You really are a fabulous presenter. I enjoyed it. I could watch it again and again.